I personally don't get why people are calling Gilgamesh trash. He is one of if not the best boss killer in the game, essentially being the new Virgil. He costs average, can deal with shield on his own, and has 2 element advantages. Moving on to passives, he gains 30% damage on placement, and for each unit in his range, he loses 6% of it, down to 0%. He also gains 1% damage per attack, up to 35%. He is immune to status effects, and lastly, he gains an ability and unbound element on upgrade 10. He also now executes non-boss enemies below 10% HP. Nextly, his familiar grants 125% damage boost. When attacking a non-boss enemy, he inflicts 30% slow for 20 seconds, making him a decent support. When attacking a boss, he stuns for 2 seconds instead. He now has a stack, called NP stack. He gains 1 stack per attack up to 30. These stacks are used when you activate his nuke. Because of his slow and multi-hit and big range, he is a pretty solid early defense unit. He takes around 10 waves to build up his damage boost to maximum, making him viable in any game mode. Here is his damage at maximum damage boost. Nothing special, hitting only 73,000 DPS with Z plus stats. But what makes him strong is his nuke. He will deal around 2.7 million damage with his nuke, which is not bad. But after the nuke, he will use his NP stacks. NP stacks basically gives him 1 second spar for 30 seconds. So he basically currently has 450,000 DPS. You can see the boss shredding at the back. This entire nuke has dealt around 19 million damage on his own. That's the strongest nuke to date. Not to mention, his nuke is not a one-time use like most nukes. He has around 80-second technical cooldown. He takes around about 3 minutes to get his 30 NP stacks again. So let us calculate. He deals 73,000 DPS normally and gains nuke every 3 minutes. If we just simply get nuke's DPS along with our base nuke, Gilgamesh has average 180,000 DPS. Think of him this way. He is a more expensive and slightly weaker Goblin Slayer, but he contributes throughout the game, unlike Goblin Slayer who is only good for boss killing. In comparison, Kaguya's hyper carry team struggles to kill the 20 million health boss. Not only is Kaguya using 5 supports, she costs more, and yet she still struggles with the same boss. This shows how good of a boss killer Gilgamesh is. Because of nuke, he benefits crazily from damage boosts like Griffith and Smith. With 2 supports, he is already dealing 640,000 DPS with his NP stacks. I can see some crazy hyper carry team with Gilgamesh, just because of how crazy his nuke is. I would assume Sukuna for early defense, 2 damage boost supports and 2 farm team will go crazy in current meta. Gilgamesh is one of 2 unit in the game that can solo kill a 20 million health boss from my knowledge. He is a very solid unit with lots of pros. Sadly, he is mainly tied to be a boss killer like Goblin Slayer, but he's amazing at it. Overall a pretty amazing unit. He could be a little tricky to use because he loses damage when other units are inside his range. But except that, he is a very good boss killer that I can definitely see being used in future hard stages. In my opinion, he is a very great unit for my free-to-play players to get. I do not know why people clown on him, but that'll be all, and see you next time.